Hello, welcome back to another session in excerpts from A Spiritual Ascension. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for continuing to follow along with my little blurbs. And again, if you would like a reading, I am a certified psychic. I was certified through the Edgar Cayce Center of New York City. So I'm legit. And also, I am a medium too. There is a link below to book time with me or if you are interested. So I wanted to talk about synchronicities, which we kind of all understand what they are. These things that happen that aren't related, but there's no coincidences. And you'll find that more and more as you go through your journey that nothing is a coincidence, that people, situations, the timing, everything is magical in a way. I was, so last night, I usually in the evening, I'll sit and just find an old movie to watch. And it seemed like, I don't know, the 90s and the early 2000s, I don't know where I was, what I was doing, but I like missed out on a lot of like good, you know, movies. So I've been trying to find movies, in the evening just to relax and watch. And what popped up on my feed was a Robert Redford movie called The Clearing. And it had Helen Moran, and hopefully I'm saying it right, and Willem Dafoe, which I loved Willem Dafoe, and I love Robert Redford too. And then I get up this morning and Mr. Redford has passed. I haven't seen a Robert Redford movie in I don't know how long. Um, I think he's a great actor and everything, that old Hollywood thing. I think I knew what the last one I watched was Out of Africa because I had watched that years ago. And then probably maybe last year, I watched that one with him. And I forget what her name is. Anywho, it's kind of almost like the spirit, the universe speaking to you, spirit speaking to you and saying, that these things happen, these synchronicities happen for a reason. And even though it's too unrelated, me watching that movie and then Mr. Redford passing today, which probably when you watch this, it'll be tomorrow. Um, Two unrelated things, but also related in a way. It reminded me, I just did a video on meeting your soul family. So when you get into your second life, since you're really leaving everyone in your first life before, and I always say having two lives within one lifetime, slowly you get to start meeting new people who are going to be in your life because now you get to really choose. You've been through your discernment is so much more precise because you know your soul knows what it wants and what it doesn't want. Um, Also, in your first life, a lot of your values, your personality, things that you chose were because of that ego that was built. And that's kind of been torn down now. So, your personality that you're building in this second life will have want different type of situations, different type of people that are on the same frequency as you. So I had kind of mentioned this couple that I had met, and I had met the wife first. And one of the first things she said to me was, I don't know, she says there's something about a serendipity or a synchronicity of meeting you. And I was kind of taken back because like a lot of mainstream people don't use the word synchronicity. So I said, something's here. So that's kind of how the universe works is to connect you with people. Because I may have not even pursued the friendship with her and then eventually her husband, um, because they're so different from me. And that's a whole nother thing is you'll find that people now coming into your life are going to be totally different than what you used to accept into your life. Um, what else? I was going to mention another thing. Oh, so if you've been following along with my videos, deer play a really big part. Yeah, like deer, white-tailed deer play a big part in signs from the universe for me. So there'll be times when I don't see deer for a long time. And then when I do see deer, to me, that's like a thing of movement. So as I walk every morning, it seems like, especially where I'm at now, there's deer all around. But it's strange if I don't see any deer for a long time. And then all of a sudden, was that Saturday? Saturday, yeah, I saw two deer passing across the street in front of me again. And it's kind of like that's a sign that something's going to happen. There's going to be some kind of movement, some kind of action. And I know some people say that you have a spirit animal or whatever, and I guess I could call that my spirit animal. But there's things like that that you need to look for the way the universe speaks to you. And then look at those things as being um, signs that something will happen or about to happen or something like that. So another interesting thing is when I lived in New York City, before I left, I lived in Queens, right by JFK Airport. And um, planes, so I would be able to hear mostly the planes coming in and kind of leaving because it was at a distance. It wasn't, I was close to it, but not close. But then one day, close to when I was going to about to leave New York to come up north, um, all of a sudden planes started flying over the house. And when I looked out my window, the plane seemed like it was right there, you know. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to go to an airport and actually like view a plane. It's like a fascinating thing to see this huge thing just like kind of coming in and landing. But the thing, the airplane was like right over the house coming in to the airport. And I was like, oh my goodness, like when did that happen all of a sudden? And they're so loud, the engines. And it kept happening, you know, for that evening. And then something in my life, I can't remember exactly what then, there would be some kind of movement, some kind of change. And then they would kind of go back, you know, their planes went back to their regular routine, flight plans or whatever. And then all of a sudden it would happen like, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks later, the plane would come overhead again. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And it's a beautiful experience just to feel the energy of something so massive. And it's just coming like right, like it could practically touch, you know, the top of the house. No, I'm probably exaggerating, but it seemed like it was so close. And it really started happening a lot just before I was getting ready to leave there. So I knew it was like, okay, there's a movement here. And it's like, that's the universe speaking to me. So I'm just trying to kind of tell you different ways of looking for how the universe will talk to you. It won't be anything like probably not my experiences, but look for these patterns, okay? So I live at a distance from the airport up here. And from my window, I can actually see the planes at a distance. It's a couple miles off, taking off from the airport and then coming in. And especially at night, it's a beautiful sight to see you know, the lights coming in. And then one day last week, all of a sudden I look out and I hear this rumbling, you know, and I'm like, what the heck is that? And I look out the window and the plane is like coming practically over top of where I'm at. And I was like, oh my goodness, like the planes have never done that since I've been here. And now all of a sudden they're, and then there's like one plane, two plane, and then as soon as I kind of figure it out, I'm like, oh, this is a pattern. This is exactly what I saw when I was in New York, that there's going to be some kind of change. There's going to be some kind of movement, and that's how the universe is speaking to me. I know it probably sounds crazy, like the plane, the route, or whatever, but believe me, magic happens. And as you go through your journey, you will see that. Like when we think of magic, we think of, we watch TV and we see something happen or whatever, and like, okay, that's TV, that's it. But to see actual magic happening and to recognize it as the universe talking to us is like the most heartwarming, beautiful thing that I can like don't even really have words for. Um, but anyway, as soon as I saw the plane and kind of realized what was going on, I probably like four or five passed over and they were really, really close. And they've never done that before. They're always at a distance miles away. I'm like, that's the same pattern. So that's what you have to look for is look for the patterns. The universe is going to use the same patterns to try to give you a message. So as soon as I kind of figured out, like, okay, that's what's going on, all of a sudden the plane stopped and they were rerouted going back the normal way. So I was like, okay, I get it, Spirit, I get it. So just wanting you to understand about synchronicities and patterns and what to look for and to look for your own sense of patterns, how the universe talks to you. And even like watching the movie last night and then Mr. Redford like passing today, which will have been yesterday. Um, it's just like a confirmation that the universe is watching you and is there for you, and they know whatever you're going through and experiencing. And even though when you think that they're not there, they're not hearing you, that they are. Okay. I say they, but the universe. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it there. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.